like, and subscribe. Thanks. Welcome to Saints at Manahawkin United Methodist Church. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Dorothy Hadden. She's been a lifelong Christian and longtime member of our congregation, Methodist Church in Manahawkin. So Dorothy, thanks for coming today. It's been a while, right? Since we
Sure has. Try 2 years.
right. And I want you to relax and smile. Once again, thanks for coming. And my first question is, tell us about your childhood, growing up years.
Okay. Well, I was born in 1930 in the middle of the Depression.
Wow.
In July, my mother said I was born at home, and Mom says it was the hottest day of the summer.
Hottest day of the summer.
I grew up in Dunkirk, New York, which is, if you go to Western New York and go north and bump into Lake Erie.
Oh, really?
That's where
Lake Erie.
Dunkirk is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
My mother was a teacher until she had her first child.
Oh,
And I was the oldest for 7 years.
oh, I see. Okay.
My dad worked on the commercial fishing boats on Lake Erie.
Oh, all right, Lake Erie.
And
okay.
then yes, and we had a service from the upper Great Lakes. They would bring in pulpwood.
Oh, yeah.
By boat.
Yeah.
And they would land at our dock.
Oh, wow.
And my dad would work at the machinery that loaded them onto the railroad cars.
Oh, I see.
So that's what he did when I was really little.
Oh.
When I was 7, he got a job with DuPont.
Oh, DuPont. Yeah.
And he worked in Buffalo. And we ended up moving quite a few times before, but again, we ended up back in Dunkirk, New York.
Oh, right. Okay.
Until I finished college.
Oh, right. Okay. So when you mentioned that, your dad worked for the boat and the Great Lakes areas, right?
Yes.
I was in Michigan for 7 years, and the Upper Peninsula. There's a huge lake, whatever, the Superior and Lake Michigan and all these things.
Yes.
So I was thinking of that too.
Yes, the lumbering industry was.
That's right. Yeah,
was big time.
Yeah, that's right. So, how many children? I mean, your siblings. You're the oldest, and
I'm
7
the
years
oldest,
later.
and I have a sister 7 years younger.
Oh, I see. 2 of you.
Yes, that's all. No boys.
No.
I didn't know what to do with boys.
All right. Thank you. And so some people, around that time, Great Depression era, most of them went to church and, got confirmed and so forth. So how was your Christian life? Do you remember?
I had none.
You had
I
none?
was unchurched.
Oh, you were unchurched?
Uh-huh.
All right.
And what happened is when I got to be 7, second grade, all my friends were going to religious education.
Oh, okay.
I started out Roman Catholic.
Oh,
I was
yes.
Roman Catholic till I was 22.
Okay.
But they would let us out of school early, one day a week, and we'd go over to the church and get our equivalent of Sunday school there.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
we also had it on Sundays.
Oh, I see.
But that's how I got started. I was a self-starter.
So you went to by yourself, like Wednesday afternoon or some 1 hour to...
Yeah, we'd get the whole group of us.
Oh, I see.
In my school, there was only one class of each grade level, and most of us did go to the Catholic Church.
Oh, I see. All right.
And I have to quote my friend a friend of mine. His mother was a very good friend of mine too. She lived in Whiting, and she always said, "You can't learn anything bad in any church."
That's a good word, isn't it? You cannot learn anything bad. Many church. That's a good one.
I guess
That's
that's
a good one.
relative.
So you used to go to the Catholic Church, I mean, until you were 22 years old, right? Yeah, all right. How did you get to know John, your husband?
At the beginning of my junior year at college, he was one of those returning veterans.
Oh.
And he had been in the Air Force. He started college, but then went into the service for several years and
I see.
came back. And,
okay.
And from the rest is history.
Rest of history. So you attended the same class or something? How did you?
Well, we were both studying music education.
Oh, I
so
see.
a lot of our classes were together.
Together. Oh, I see.
Because he had started a couple of years first, and
see what you
then
mean.
decided to go into service.
Go into service and came back. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Tell us any moments that in your life that you felt God is with me and it must be God, help me or something like that.
That's been pretty recent. I think you know what it is.
All right. Tell us.
My great-granddaughter, when she was 2 years ago, when she was a year old,
right.
she had to have brain surgery.
Oh, yeah.
And it went off beautifully. You'd never know anything ever happened. She is very active, very bright, and just a cute kid.
That's right.
And now she has a little sister.
That's right. Yeah. Great-granddaughter, right?
Great-granddaughter.
That's right. Lucy May, right?
Lucy.
And why don't you tell us the second great-granddaughter's name?
Her name is Lennon Hazel.
All right.
Which is kind of, we call her Lenny.
Yeah, that's right.
She looks a little like her sister, but not a whole lot.
That's good.
But she's equally cute.
So what you're referring to is that when Lucy May was having like brain surgery and all difficult treatment, and we prayed together, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I had everybody in the world praying for that kid. And God answered our prayers.
That's right, yeah.
And the second answer I got was in July when I had my birthday, and they showed up at my door.
That's right. How about that? Yeah. Her son Jim arranged everything for this,
Oh,
right?
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So tell us about your family. After you got married, John, then you had how many children?
3 boys.
That's right. See, you are not used to boys, and all of a sudden you have all 3 boys.
Yeah, it was kind of scary, and there was just one sister too. And then I lost my dad when I was 18, my first month of college.
Oh.
So we had 3 women in the house.
Oh, wow.
I was lucky enough to be able to live at home in college.
Right.
So.
Wow. Yeah, you must felt very responsible for the whole family when you're in college.
Well, my sister will tell you she felt like she had 2 mothers. Because
right.
mom always worked. Mom started out as a teacher, and then during the Depression when public welfare started, she was a case manager for public welfare. She used to walk the city to visit her families.
Yeah, okay.
But we've grown since then.
That's right. So after you graduated, did you graduate from college?
I graduated from...
So you got education, teacher's position?
Yes. When John and I graduated, we took jobs at opposite ends of the state.
Oh, really?
and eventually we both ended up in Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls?
Uh-huh. I can tell you where people from Niagara Falls go on their honeymoon. They don't go to Niagara Falls.
No, that's right.
But, and we were there for several years. Our 2 oldest boys were born in Niagara Falls.
All right.
And then we moved halfway across the state, and Jim was born in Oneida, New York, which is close to Syracuse, in that area.
Okay.
And then we moved a lot. We moved down to New Jersey.
That's when John got a job here, or you got a job?
Not here. John's first job in New Jersey was in West Windsor, Plainsboro. They were building a new high school.
Okay.
And it was he had a lot of experience with construction. So we stayed there for, finished the high school. Never saw him because he was always at meetings.
Oh.
And after 6 years, we said that's enough. The kids were growing up without him.
That's right. Oh,
and so we came down here.
Oh.
And a little more relaxed atmosphere.
Yes.
And by that time, the kids were, Jim was going into junior high, so I went back to subbing.
Oh,
I taught a lot.
Oh, here. I see.
And yeah, and by the way, the president of the school board at the time was John Lemke.
All right.
Yeah, Janet's father.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay.
And John Haig was also on the school board.
Oh.
So we made a lot of nice friends moving in.
That's right. So eventually, John became the superintendent.
Oh, that's what they hired him for. Yeah, he was
they had
superintendent of schools.
That's right. That's right. If you want to say like a few words of wisdom with our growing up younger generation.
What is love one another, because family is everything.
Family is everything.
And my family so far has done a good job of not having infighting and that kind of thing some families do.
Yeah. Sadly, some families do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.